English Language Academy. Practice makes perfect.
Listen and practice.
Turning pain to gain.
"7 years ago, Mackenzie Barrup hurt her knee. She was just 10 years old. A week later, the pain was still there. The pain didn't stop. Then she found out about a disease called RSD. This disease tells the brain her knee is still injured even though it isn't. There is no cure for the pain. Her knee feels terrible all the time. Sometimes Mackenzie felt so awful that she stayed in bed for months. It was very difficult to walk. Her doctors tried everything: medicine, exercise, and other treatments. Nothing worked, except books. Mackenzie read lots of books. The books helped her stop thinking about the pain, and she decided to help other children forget their pain too. She found out about a treatment center for children nearby. The center had a new library, but no books. She asked all her friends and her parents' friends to give books. Then she put ads in newspapers and made a website. Mackenzie's goal was to give 300 books to the library, but she soon had 3,000 books, and more were on the way. Today, that number is more than 40,000. She started an organization. Sheltering Books now helps children in many states in the U.S. Mackenzie's knee still hurts all the time, but she feels better because she's helping other kids with their pain.
Listen and practice.
Mammals. Mammals are the only animals that give birth to their young. They don't lay eggs like fish, amphibians, reptiles, or birds do. Mammal mothers are special because they produce milk for their babies to drink. Today, we can find many different types of mammal. Some live on land, like horses, camels, and monkeys. Others live in the ocean, like whales and dolphins. Bats are special because they are the only mammals that can fly. Did you know that you are a mammal too?
Listen and practice.
Some animals live in fresh water. They live in rivers and lakes. Fish, frogs, beavers, and ducks live in fresh water. Big animals also live in fresh water. The Nile crocodile lives in rivers and lakes in Africa. When large animals come to drink, it pulls them under the water and eats them. Land animals need water too. They drink water. In the African savanna, animals like zebras, giraffes, and elephants come to the water hole to drink. The savanna can be very hot and dry, and these animals cannot live without water. Hippos need water to keep their skin healthy. They stay in water all day to keep cool. If they don't have water, they get sunburnt.
Listen and practice.
Earthquakes and tsunamis. Usually, Earth's crust moves very slowly, only a few millimeters every year. Sometimes, 2 pieces of the crust move suddenly in different directions. And then there's an earthquake. Earthquakes are dangerous because buildings sometimes fall down. When there's an earthquake, people in buildings go under a heavy table, or they stand between two rooms. These are good ideas. They can help to keep people safe. There are earthquakes under the ocean, too. Usually they are small and not dangerous. Sometimes an earthquake under the ocean makes a giant wave called a tsunami. Tsunamis can be very dangerous. After a tsunami, there are often floods. There's water everywhere. Houses, cars, and trees are in the water. The water isn't clean, so many people are sick. In 2004, there was a very big tsunami in the Indian Ocean. Many people died.
Listen and practice.
Mountains and lakes. The biggest mountain chain in the world is the Himalayas in Asia. It began when two pieces of Earth's crust met and moved up. They began to move about 50 million years ago, and they are moving now, very slowly. The top of Mount Everest in the Himalayas is the highest place on Earth. It's about 9 kilometers above the ocean. Everest is very big, and it's getting bigger. The top of Everest goes up about 5 millimeters every year because Earth's crust is moving all the time. Near high mountains, there are often deep lakes. The deepest lake in the world is Lake Baikal in Russia. It's more than 1,600 meters deep. Scientists are exploring the lake in small submarines. Lake Baikal began when pieces of Earth's crust moved and made a deep hole. Water from 330 rivers goes into Lake Baikal. There's more water here than in all the Great Lakes in North America.
Listen and practice.
Making medicines. The medicines that are made in laboratories and factories are often copies of medicines made from plants. Malaria is a disease that causes fever and can kill people. People can get it when an insect called a mosquito bites them. To cure malaria, people first made a medicine from quinine. Quinine is a substance that comes from a rainforest tree. Then scientists started to make copies of this medicine in a laboratory. Today, quinine drugs are made without plants. Thousands of medicines have been made from rainforest plants. If people cut down rainforests, we will lose plants that could make more medicines.
Listen and practice.
Ocean animals. Lots of animals live in water. Some animals live in salt water. They live in seas and oceans. The biggest ocean animal is the blue whale. It can be more than 30 meters long and 200 metric tons. It eats very small ocean animals called krill. It can eat 4 metric tons of krill in a day. Blue whales live in most of the oceans. The blue whale is the biggest animal on Earth. It can be as big as 25 elephants. Many other animals live in salt water. There are sharks and lots of other fish. All ocean animals need water. Water gives them food and oxygen. Jellyfish are not fish. They are invertebrates. They don't have a skeleton. They need water to support their bodies.
Listen and practice.
Traditional medicines. In many places around the world, people use mostly traditional medicines. Traditional medicines are medicines that people have used for hundreds of years or longer. Traditional medicines are made from plants and from animals like insects. For example, most people in Africa use traditional medicines, and a lot of people in Asia do too. In some places, people use traditional medicines because they don't live near a hospital, or because traditional medicines are cheap. In other places, people use both traditional medicines and medicines that are made by scientists in laboratories.
Listen and practice.
When we think of deserts, we imagine rocks and sand and a place that's very hot and dry. It's difficult to live in a hot desert, but some plants and animals are adapted to this ecosystem. Deserts are dry because it almost never rains. Desert plants collect the rain and store it so that they can live during the dry season. Cactus plants have stems that become fat when they are full of water. They also have sharp spikes to stop thirsty animals breaking the stems to drink the water inside.